Okay, so the next story's title is The Two Brothers. There was once a rich man who had two sons. Both sons were married and had children, but they all lived together in rich man's house. The older son, Norbu, was an unpleasant man with an unpleasant wife. He was mean and greedy and thought only of himself. The younger son, Hungbu, was the opposite. He was kind and generous and always helpful to everyone. When Norbu and Hungbu's father died, Norbu, the eldest son, inherited everything, including all his father's land and possessions, and even the house they all lived in. Norbu told his younger brother to take his family and live elsewhere, but Hungbu did not have any money to buy a house for his family to live in. He asked his older brother to give him a little money to buy a place to live. Certainly not, Norbu told his brother. It's my money. You can't have it. Now start packing your things. I want you out of here by the end of this week. Hungbu packed up his family's few possessions and left the house. They had nowhere to go and no money to buy food. Hungbu took his family into the forest, where he built a small hut for them. They lived on roots, berries, and wild rice. They had not been in the forest long when a pair of swallows arrived. They built a nest in the eaves of Hungbu's hut. Soon the mother swallow laid her eggs. Then the eggs hatched, and the baby swallows cried for food with their mouths wide open. See how the mother spends all her time searching for food for her babies. Hungbu told his children, she has a family just like ours. One day, one of the baby swallows fell out of the nest. Hungbu found the tiny bird on the ground. One of its legs was broken. Hungbu tore a piece of cloth from his shirt and made a bandage for the bird's leg. Then he took a baby bird into his hut. Hungbu told his children, we must find worms and insects for this baby bird to eat. Even though they had a little to eat themselves and lived in a small hut, Hungbu and his family cared for the tiny bird. After a few weeks, the baby swallow flew up to the nest and joined its family again. Then winter came. All the swallows flew away to a warmer place. But Hungbu and his family stayed in the forest in their hut. The weather was bad, and soon snow covered his family's hut. We can't spend the winter here, Hungbu told his wife. I'm going to ask my brother to help us. He went to his brother's house and knocked the door. A servant answered the door, so Hungbu asked to speak to his brother. Wait here, that the servant said, and left Hungbu standing outside in the cold. Norbu's wife appeared at the door and shouted at Hungbu, "Go away! We have nothing for you!" Then she struck Hungbu on the face with a wooden spoon. Hungbu sadly returned to the hut and tried to make it as dry and warm as he could. His wife fed their family soup made from a few roots, but it was not nourishing. The whole family became thinner and thinner. Then spring came, and the family of swallows returned. The mother swallow dropped a gift for Hungbu on the ground beside the door of his hut. It was a seed. Hungbu planted the seed, and by the time summer came, it had grown into a strong vine with 3 gourds on it. "Let's open each gourd," Hungbu said, "and make a wish as we do so. Who knows, perhaps our wishes will come true." His wife smiled at her husband. With a laugh, she said, "I wish that this gourd was full of gold." She cut it open, and to her amazement, it was full of gold. Hungbu's son quickly took the next gourd. He said, "I wish for so much rice that we'll never be hungry again." When he cut the gourd, a stream of the best rice poured out. Hungbu picked up the 3rd gourd. "I wish," he said, "for a good house to live in." He cut the gourd, and out came 100 workmen. Within a week, they had built a palace for Hungbu and his family. When Norbu heard about his brother's good fortune, he wanted to grow some wishing gourds too. Norbu sent one of his sons to catch a baby swallow. When his son gave him the tiny bird, Norbu broke one of his legs, and he tore a piece of cloth from his son's shirt and bandaged the bird's broken leg. Before long, the baby bird was able to fly to its nest. The swallows flew away for the winter, and in the spring, the mother bird returned with a large seed in her beak. She dropped the seed to the ground in front of Norbu. Immediately, he planted it. By summer, the seed had grown into a strong vine with 3 gourds on it. As soon as they were ripe, Norbu told his wife to cut one open and wish as she did so. Norbu's wife wished for gold as she cut open the gourd. But it was not gold that came out of the gourd. Gourd was full of dung. Angrily, Norbu ordered his son to cut open the gourd and wish for as much rice as they could eat. The son did this, but it was not rice that came out of the gourd. An angry snake came out instead. "You two must be cutting them the wrong way," Norbu said, I'll do the last one. Norbu wished for a grand palace to live in as he very carefully cut open the last gourd. But instead of a palace, a wall of the water poured out of the gourd. It swept away Norbu's house and all his possessions. Oh, you stupid man! His wife cried. Now we have nothing. My brother will help us, Norbu said. Norbu went to see Hungbu and told him what had happened. You can come and live with me, Hungbu said. There is plenty of room and food here for all of us. Norbu was touched by his brother's generous and good nature. He became a changed man, and the two families lived happily together after that. The end. Thank you. Thank you so much for paying attention to me. Oh really? Last one was your favorite? Thank you.